Hey y'all, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library Short Story Time series. Long title, right? Anywho, welcome back. Today I am reading one of my favorite short stories from one of my favorite collections. This one is called Training School for Negro Girls. It's written by a brilliant woman named Camille Acker. And it's absolutely wonderful. This is a debut. This is her debut. It's fairly new. I feel like. Let me see. Let me check what year this came out. It's published by Feminist Press, and it came out in 2018. So it's fairly new, and it's absolutely wonderful. I love this collection. I love her writing. It's very brilliant. It's very irreverent. It's very humorous. It's very quirky. It's very subtle. I love her work. I love her work. I love this collection. And as soon as I decided to start these short story time videos, I knew that I would have to read at least one story from Training School for Negro Girls. So that's what I'm reading today. All right. So this story is called Everything She Wants. And once again, check the captions and check out the writing prompts and discussion questions and reflection type questions that I'm offering that were inspired by this wonderful story, and see if they inspire you to do a little writing, a little thinking, a little discussing with the people that you might be quarantining with. You never know. This is just me just sharing the brilliance of Black women writers and the things that have felt really good for me to witness and experience. So anywho, kind of rambling. So I'm just going to get into it. All right. This is called Everything She Wants. Alexis carries a bag that is too heavy for her to the car. She puts it down after the first set of stairs and drags sticky peanut butter and jelly fingers over the sweat gathering on the back of her neck. She heaves it the rest of the way, setting the bulk of the bundle on her leg. No one else is ready to go to Ocean City, but she is. She can't find the dark pink swimsuit that she and her father bought at Hex, but she'll wear her old one, the babyish one, with the rainbows. Alexis is 8 and is ready for real life to begin. Inside the 2-story colonial in Northeast, her mother is putting chicken salad sandwiches into plastic zip-top bags and burying 2 cream sodas for Alexis and 2 root beers for her father in the store-bought ice in the foam cooler. Alexis wants to do nice things for her mother, but she doesn't go back inside to help. She wants to wait by the car until they leave, so she is one step closer to the water and wearing sunglasses on the beach, like grown women do. She wears her mother's perfume sometimes. On special days, her mother lets her. Today, Alexis sneaks it. She likes to spray one wrist and press the thin skin to as many parts of her body as she can. Later, when her father sprays her with sunscreen, the smells will mix and Alexis will fall asleep on the beach blanket with her wrists pressed to her nose. Her mother packed fashion magazines, and Alexis is going to take one out of her bag when her mother takes a nap in the sun, almost as soon as they arrive. Alexis thinks those small women in the magazines are so very pretty, and she knows why her mom flips through them over and over again some days. She doesn't need this much stuff, her father says when Alexis gets the bag to the curb in front of their house. A woman has needs, Alexis says, and her father's forehead troubles itself, even though he smiles at her. He reaches out to grab Alexis's cheek. They are fat, too fat for her face. Alexis knows that those cheeks are part of what's stopping her from being a woman. I suppose so, he says. He reaches down to scratch his leg beneath the long white socks he's worn with his khaki shorts. Alexis doesn't know what a woman needs. Makeup, she could guess, and dresses that other women think are pretty. Her mother likes those things, although she hardly ever wears makeup, and she wears too big t-shirts, staying in that bed for too long. Alexis heard her mother say to her father that she can't help that she needs time to herself. Her father did not say anything back because he saw Alexis standing in the doorway to the dining room right after her mother spoke. He reached out for her instead of her mother, and her mother went back upstairs without another word. Alexis has two best friends in school. Caitlin is white, one of the only ones at Alexis' elementary school, and she wears lip gloss already and tries to sing like a pop star. Nia is like Alexis, but darker, a brown that deepens, while Alexis only gets golden playing in the summer sun. Alexis, Caitlin, and Nia have sleepovers every weekend, and they switch whose house they go to. But Nia's house is the best. It has the biggest yard, and Nia's mom is the best cook. But Caitlin's mom orders pepperoni pizza. Alexis's dad cooked dinner the slumber party before last. It was spaghetti from a jar. And Nia didn't finish eating what was on her plate. Later, in the yellow bedroom with the canopy bed that Alexis's mother had gotten for her a special order, she told Alexis that her mother said that no good mother would feed her family from a jar. Alexis hadn't said anything back to her, only turned on her side, away from Nia. Caitlin was already asleep. "What else should we take?" her father asks. He closes the trunk before Alexis can answer. He sits in the passenger seat, his long legs resting on the crisp cut grass in front of their house. Alexis wants long legs like him one day. Then she can be in those magazines. He pats his lap and Alexis sits. Her shoes are off and she tucks her toes behind her father's knees. He nuzzles the top of her head. She has braids today that her mother did. It is the first time her mother's done her hair in months. Alexis wants to ask a question her mother won't have to know about. It is a question that Alexis will in some way end up asking for the rest of her life. Will she always be sad? But the question is rough in her mouth and she can't swallow it and she can't spit it out. So it sits between her teeth and her tongue, undissolved, unsoftened, no matter how much saliva she runs over it. "Are you okay?" he asks into her hair. Alexis nods, and when her father grabs for her cheek again and asks what she's storing in them to make them so chubby, the question dislodges and tumbles down her throat, lost for the rest of her childhood. Her mother walks out of the house carrying the cooler, and her father stands up to let Alexis off his lap. And he takes the steps to the house, 2 at a time, to remove the burden from the hands of her mother. He says things to her that Alexis cannot hear. One day, Alexis will look back and be sure that one of the things a woman needs is love. "Do we have everything?" her father asks and walks down the stone steps. He puts the cooler on the back seat of their station wagon. He helps her mother into the front seat, slow to let go of her hand. Alexis lands with a joyous thump on the back seat and closes the door so fast she almost catches her fingers. Her braids clatter together. Alexis's whole body is full of excitement and exhaustion that they are going somewhere and that her mother is happy today. They will ride through the neighborhood and out of DC into Maryland with the windows down. The breeze will be strong and thick. When they park after rolling through sand in front of all that water, The breeze won't be in the car anymore. It will be everywhere. And Alexis will want to go and run everywhere with it. She will look through that front windshield to see just how high the waves are. On the beach, their towels finally laid out, she will hold her mother's hand, even though her mother takes too long to walk to the water. But when it is right, Alexis will release the dry warmth of her mother's hand and tumble into the wet of the surf. One day, when she is all grown with a little girl of her own, and days when she must stay in bed, she will remember her toes sinking into sand and know that this too is a kind of solid ground. All right, y'all, so that was Everything She Wants from Training School for Negro Girls, a brilliant collection of short stories written by Camille Acker. And I'm also going to be sharing another short story specifically for the patrons. It's called An Ounce of Charm by Jewel Gomez, and it is going to come with some rituals that are inspired by the story. It's a little risque. It's erotica, so I'm sharing it only on Patreon because it's grown folks only. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, wishing everyone safety, peace, and good health. Thanks so much, y'all. See you next time.